Now, today, student, we will start with the topic problems of piecing together the past. Out here, there was a problem is whatever things was been collected, evidence was been collected to place it in a proper chart. They were getting it was totally difficult, or they are having problem to reconstruct or to know about the past. So whatever Harappan script was been found, it was not helping us to understand the ancient civilization, as because Harappan script was undeciphered. It was not too much clear. So rather than that Harappan script, whatever material as an evidence was been collected by the archaeologists, helped them to better reconstruct the Harappan life. The material used to include like pottery, tools, ornament, household object, and all. Now there was an organic material was also there, such as cloth, leather, wood. As this organic material could not exist for a longer period of time, it has been decomposed. Only it has been decomposed. Now, apart from that, wherever the craft production was going on, wherever construction was going on, they have got some broken or useless object or the waste raw material from that particular site. On the basis of that, they also have reconstruct the past. Now, valuable artifacts that are found intact, some valuable artifacts were found intact, or either whatever valuable object they have kept as an intact in a proper place was been lost in the past or could not be retrieved, that has been went away with the past as because of the disaster what have occurred during that time, or it could not be retrieved, or it could not be find out. Now this was the past, how they have reconstruct. Now whatever thing they have material they have collected, on the basis of that they started classifying the things. Now archaeology has started classifying whatever they have found the material. Now they have started classifying the material on the basis of two principles. First principle was that in the terms of materials, such as whatever things they have found, they have first identified the material of which this thing was been made. So for example, it made of stone, clay, ivory, bones, etc. Now second was in terms of function, whatever material they have found, now for which purpose this material was used during that time period, they started identifying that one. Now archaeologists have to decide whether an artifact is a tool or an ornament or both, or something meant for ritual uses. Now whatever was been found, was it been used for tool, was it an ornament, or used for ritual purpose? They started identifying that on the basis of the material. Now archaeologists also try to identify the function of an artifact by investigating the context, that is in which it was been found. Now identify the function means on the basis of the thing where it was been found, where the thing was been found, on the basis of that they started identify. Suppose a material was found in house, then they started thinking that this particular material was used for the household activity or for the domestic purpose. They started thinking in such manner. Now archaeologists have to take resources from indirect evidence too. Now archaeologists have also taken some evidence as an from resources as an indirect evidence. That is, for example, they have found the traces of cotton at some Harappan site. They have found some traces of cotton at some Harappan site. So on the basis of that, they started thinking that they used to wear clothes made of cotton, and how they used to prepare the cotton. They started thinking in such manner. Now next one is our big problem of interpretation. So this is the last topic of your chapter. So now let us start. Out here we are going to discuss regarding the religious life of Harappan people. Now to interpret was to reconstruct was quite difficult, as because the archaeologists, what they have found certain object which have seemed to be unusual or unfamiliar. Now that certain object which seemed unusual or unfamiliar, they have given it as a religious importance to that certain object. Now for example, they have found it, or they have discovered like a terracotta figurine of woman, or the stone statue of Min. So for you can see the picture out here. This is a picture of terracotta figurine of woman. So out here you can see this picture of woman is wearing a huge jewelry, and at the head also it's having a elaborated headdress. So this we call it as a mukut in Hindi. So by seeing this structure, they have said that this terracotta figurine of woman is the mother goddess of Harappan people. And other they have found was that the stone statue of Min, which they have said it as a statue of priest king. Apart from that, they also have found certain structure was been discovered, like great bath, which they have said that this great bath was meant for some ritual importance or ritual significance was been assigned. And other was that the fire altar. What is fire altar? Was that a huge pillar, and at the top they used to burn fire at the top, or they used to light it at the top. So that it was called fire altar, and that was found in Kalibanga and Lothar. Apart from that, what we have seen that some ritual scene was been depicted in the seal. For example, a unicorn, that is a picture of animal which is one horned animal was been depicted in the seal, and the archaeology has said that this unicorn was used for, they used to worship this unicorn. Apart from that, they have find the picture, this picture depicted in the seal. You can see a yogic picture sitting in a cross leg and surrounded by animals. So this is called as a proto Shiva, which was depicted in the seal. Now this proto Shiva, that is, they have said that the Harappan people used to worship Lord Shiva. Now this, in the Rig Veda, it was mentioned a god name called Rudra, which was named used for Shiva in the latter Puranic tradition, that is Shiva in the latter Puranic tradition. Now in the Rig Veda, we have seen the mention of the proto Shiva, that is Rudra or Pasupati, and both is similar or not, there is no evidence for that. But Rudra in the Rig Veda is neither depicted as Pasupati, that is the lord of animal in general and cattle in particular, nor as a yogi, that is a proto Shiva. Apart from that, what we have seen out here is that they are also having a stone was also been found out there, that is a conical stone object was also been classified, was also been found. This conical stone, they was most probably used to play chess during that time period. So this conical stone, what they have classified it as a linga, which they people used to worship during that time period. Now out here in the regarding the religious life, what we have seen is that they are worshipping the mother goddess, that the terracotta figurine of woman. Other one was the unicorn, that is one horned animal. Other one was that they have also have seen in the seal some plant motifs, that means they are worshipping the nature also. Other, what we have seen, a yogic posture sitting in a cross leg surrounded by animal, that is a proto Shiva seal in the seal was been depicted. And lastly, we have seen that a chronicle stone was also been found, and that they have classified it as a linga. So regarding the religious life of the Harappan is been completed. So this chapter is been completed. Just go through this chapter once. Okay, thank you.